want to say it's a pleasure to be here. It's a wonderful experience. Years ago, 50 years ago, across this track, we had a two-hole outhouse and a picnic table or two, and that's all you could get to ride up, use the crapper, and back down the hill. It's absolutely tremendous today. I'm very impressed with what has been going on over the years, and again, I say appreciate the opportunity to be here. I'm glad you people support it. That's why it's here today. Thank you.
Ben, Mark Twain's a tough act to follow now. Come on now. I want to thank everybody for coming out here, and I want to thank Mary Snyder and the Cass staff who worked to put this 50th celebration on. More importantly, I want to recognize and thank not only the legendary Ben Dickens, the first superintendent of Cass, but all of the other 9 superintendents who served since then, and also, most importantly, all of the staff who have supported this great state park and the legacy that it represents, both the town of Cass and the crew that works there, and the railroad crew, who I think have this rolling stock track in operation in as good a shape as I've ever seen it, and they really deserve tremendous commendation for that. I also want to recognize Delegate Hartman from up in Elkins, who, without his support, the railroad and the rest of the park system would struggle. He's a fine fella and always gives his support to state parks and Cass. And we're really glad that you were able to make it today, Delegate, and make the drive down from Elkins. I have received from Congressman Ray Hall, I would like to call it a brief message that I would read, but when I saw that it was about 750 pages long, I decided, no, 750 words, I'm sorry. I decided I would just condense it down to a few words and give you the gist of it. He actually is introducing this in the halls of the U.S. Congress as a proclamation and presenting it to the Speaker of House. And he talks about the 50th anniversary of the railroad, its importance to tourism here regionally, and how it preserves this unique attraction. He talks about the history of the railroad, and then he uses this phrase, and it echoes what I said a moment ago. First and foremost, let me recognize the small contingent of dedicated and experienced Cass employees who deserve several trainloads of thanks for keeping the trains moving up and down the mountain. They are a talented bunch. By applying their own skills and ingenuity without benefit of blueprints or plans for 50 years, day in and day out, they have kept history alive. And I'd like to give a round of applause to all the Cass employees over this past 50 years. I grew up with many of them, and they're a fine bunch of people. They welcomed me and my family. My father, who was the former superintendent of the railroad here in late 63, 64, I think we were here. They were very, very kind to us, and I always were regarded as friends. Also, I should recognize, as Congressman Ray Hall does, the Mountain State Logging Historical Association, which is our 501c3 foundation of record here at Cass. They are responsible for the displays you see here. They're working on a climax locomotive restoration down at the bottom of the hill and a shop down there. And they're a group of volunteers who just do tremendous work, and they deserve recognition, as does, and Congressman Ray Hall believes too. Let me read the concluding paragraph verbatim of the Congressman's proclamation that again will become part of the congressional record. It says, Mr. Speaker, I offer hearty congratulations to all those who have and are taking part in a 50-year journey that continues to gather steam and glory to celebrate an important chapter in our country's past. May the lessons preserved from our past continue to help guide our next half century, and may the chorus of Cass steam whistles always sound a welcoming note for the nation to pay Cass Scenic Railroad a visit. Very eloquent, and I think he expressed it very well. I'm going to close, but first I also want to recognize the family of Bus Long, who was the station master here for the railroad before the Scenic Railroad came in, and was one of the people who was instrumental in mustering the political will down in Charleston to help make this a scenic railroad. Where's the Long family? Where are they? There they are. Glad you all today. Let me conclude by saying something from the heart. You know, you look around the mountain, the town, the people here. There's a train that runs through the town, that's run through the town for many, many years. There's a train that's run up through these mountains. You know, there's a train that's run through the past. There's a train that runs through the present. My crystal ball is pretty fuzzy. I can't see the future real well, nor can I kind of predict it. Nobody can. But I like to think, and I'm quite confident, that a train will continue to run through the lives of these people who live here, through these mountains, and through this town. And in 50 years, there'll be another 50-year celebration that actually celebrating the 100th year of Cass operations. Thank you very much. And without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Director Jezerio.
You know, I'm going to read a proclamation here from the governor. I think everybody knows in the last few days what's going on with the governor, and a lot of the people in Charleston are pretty busy over in Roane County, especially. If you don't know where you came from, it's hard to understand where we're headed. And to think back, as you heard the narrator talking as we were coming up the mountain, of all the people and the hard work that gave their lives to come into these mountains and bring prosperity. There were a lot of jobs brought in here. Sadly true, a lot of the wealth was taken out of the state. It was hauled out on these trains, but it also provided jobs for people who never would have had jobs. But the history involved here, you think about what these people did, the life they had, the hardships they suffered, to bring us what we have here today. And a lot of it came right out of the mountains and right off of this Cass Scenic Railroad. Hauling timber, hauling coal out of these mountains. This was something that a lot of people can never realize. But it was a job. It brought jobs here that otherwise would never have been here. And to see everybody here sharing this today, and for the little kids to be able to talk about this in school when they go back and read about it and talk about it, they shared it, they were here. Some of us may not be here when the next 50 celebration is, as Ken talks about. But it's great to see everybody here today. We really appreciate the support our legislators give us every year when we need something. We go to them, they realize the importance of this, not just this iconic landmark, but when we talk about so many things in West Virginia, whether it's Seneca Rocks, the Blackwater Canyon, or the Cass Scenic Railroad, these are things that identify us across the state and across the world. Thank you guys, and thank you for your support. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.